Welcome to the edge of the world, where the steel giants of the ocean come to rest on the quiet sands of Gadani as the sun rises. These massive vessels, once the kings of global trade, now stand still, their long journeys concluded as they wait for their final and most dramatic chapter. Every inch of this corroded iron tells a story of salt, storms, and thousands of nautical miles traveled across the deepest and most unforgiving oceans on Earth. The scale is truly humbling, as human figures appear like tiny specks against the towering walls of steel that have finally reached their permanent resting place here. The preparation begins with the rhythmic clanking of chains and the sound of heavy boots, signaling the start of a massive industrial operation of epic proportions. Armed with fire and determination, a specialized crew of shipbreakers prepares to dismantle these mechanical leviathans piece by piece in an incredible display of manual labor. The first strike is one of fire, as high-temperature torches ignite to begin the violent but necessary process of breaking through decades of hardened marine steel. Watch as the steel turns to liquid under the intense heat of the oxygen-acetylene flame, carving a path through the ship's thick and heavily armored outer skin. Through the blinding sparks and thick white smoke, the shipbreaker moves with precision, guiding the flame to sever the connections that held this giant together. The structural integrity begins to fail as the weight of the steel creates a deep, haunting groan that vibrates through the entire length of the vessel's body. A thunderous impact shakes the ground as a massive segment of the hull finally gives way, falling to the earth in a spectacular display of gravity's power. The raw edges of the cut metal glow with a fierce heat, revealing the immense thickness of the plates that once protected the ship's precious cargo inside. It is a coordinated assault by fire, as dozens of workers work in unison to strip away the ship's armor and expose its hidden mechanical inner workings. High above the ground, these workers navigate the skeletal remains of the deck, braving the heights and the heat to complete their monumental task of destruction. We step into the darkness of the engine room, a cathedral of grease and iron where the ship's massive heart once pulsed with thousands of horsepower. Every bolt and nut in this mechanical tomb is oversized, requiring immense strength and specialized tools to dismantle the components that powered this ocean-going giant. The crane cables groan under the strain as they prepare to lift the heaviest components, beginning the delicate process of extracting the ship's vital internal organs. Before the engine can be removed, the remaining fuel and oil must be carefully drained, a dark and messy reminder of the energy that once flowed here. The pistons, larger than any person, are finally exposed to the daylight for the first time in decades as they are pulled from their deep steel housings. A massive crankshaft, the backbone of the engine, swings through the air, looking like a prehistoric fossil being unearthed from its iron and steel burial ground. The ship's nervous system of copper and wire is ruthlessly stripped away, destined to be sorted and melted down for a completely different purpose in the future. What remains is a hollow shell, an echo of the massive capacity this ship once had to carry the world's goods across the vast and open seas. On the ground, the work becomes more personal and rhythmic, as workers use hammers to break down the smaller components into manageable pieces for further processing. These skilled hands can identify different metals by touch and weight alone, carefully separating valuable copper, brass, and aluminum from the vast sea of scrap iron. The sound of steel on steel creates a constant mechanical heartbeat on the beach, a song of transformation that defines the daily life of these hardworking men. The broken remnants of the ship are piled onto ancient trucks, which struggle under the weight of the steel as they prepare to leave the coastal shipyard. Each truck carries a piece of history away from the sea, heading toward the inland furnaces where the old steel will be reborn into something entirely new. Maintenance of their simple tools is vital, as the harsh environment and the stubborn nature of the ship's steel wear down even the strongest equipment very quickly. The beach is transformed into an organized map of materials, a testament to the meticulous effort involved in reclaiming every single usable ounce of the giant vessel. There is a quiet pride in this grueling work, knowing that they are the essential links in a global cycle of consumption, waste, and inevitable mechanical rebirth. The scene shifts to the heart of the steel mill, where the air is thick with heat and the sky glows with the fire of creation. The rusted fragments of the ship are fed into the inferno, where temperatures exceeding 3,000 degrees melt the past away and purify the raw iron. Watch as the steel turns into a glowing river of liquid fire, a mesmerizing sight of raw elemental power and industrial precision working in perfect harmony. In this realm of extreme heat, the workers move with caution and skill, managing the liquid steel that will soon become the foundation of new structures. The newly formed ingots emerge, glowing with a brightness that defies the eye, ready to be shaped and molded into their next useful industrial form. The transformation continues as the hot metal moves through the factory, undergoing a process of extreme pressure and mechanical force to change its very shape. The power of the hydraulic press is immense, flattening and extending the metal with every strike, forging the steel into a more refined and usable state. The interaction of water and fire creates a dramatic atmosphere of steam and shadow as the mill works tirelessly to cool the metal for the next phase. Now, the steel begins to stretch, moving like a glowing serpent through the rolling mill, becoming thinner and longer with every pass through the precision rollers. The final patterns are pressed into the surface, turning the once flat ship plates into specialized construction rebar that will strengthen the buildings of the future. Speed and precision are essential as the glowing rods zip through the machinery, a perfect ballet of industrial engineering and automated mechanical control. As the heat dissipates, the metal regains its strength and hardness, settling into its new identity as a high-quality building material for modern infrastructure. A shower of sparks erupts once more as the automated saws cut the rods into perfect lengths, ready for the global construction market and new projects. The process is complete as machine arms stack the finished products with mathematical precision, creating bundles of strength that are ready to be shipped out. A final inspection ensures that the steel, which once carried tons of cargo across the ocean, is now strong enough to support massive architectural wonders. Thousands of tons of reborn steel wait here, a silent army of metal that represents the successful conclusion of a massive and complex recycling journey. The trucks depart, carrying the ship's legacy to construction sites far and wide, where it will live on in the bones of cities and bridges. Back at the beach, the giant's silhouette has grown thin, but its sacrifice provides the foundation for the world's constant growth and endless industrial evolution. Nothing is ever truly lost. It is simply transformed. The cycle of the giants continues, as the old makes way for the new in perpetuity. As darkness falls, the ocean waits for the next traveler to arrive, ensuring that the eternal loop of steel and salt will never truly end.